Hey, Nerd Herd family. It's your girl, the dopest nerd. And I am back to bring you my Trinidadian feel-good recipe. If you have a cold, the flu, the vid, or whatever 24-hour bug and you're not feeling well, this will get you right. Now, first, let me begin. You see this hand? Stop. Disclaimer. This does not constitute medical advice. I am simply sharing with you, the Nerd Herd family, and anyone who comes across this video, a recipe that I and my family use and we feel better instantly. Again, I repeat, disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer alert. This does not constitute medical advice. I am simply sharing a recipe from my family, a Trinidadian home recipe that makes us feel better instantly and does not constitute medical advice. There at no time should anyone take this as the dopest nerd or Natania Rubin administering medical advice. Now, if you circle back and you say you gave me medical advice, well, I'll leave it at that. So I repeat again, hand up in the stop gesture. Universal gesture for stop. This does not constitute medical advice. I am simply sharing with you because it was requested of me to share what remedy I use to feel better and to give my family whenever they are under the weather. So, if you have the flu, the cold, the vid, or anything else that relegates you to the bed and not feeling well, this will do the trick. Use at your own discretion. All of the ingredients constitute organic, natural ingredients that can be purchased at any local supermarket and is not a substitution for medical advice. Now that I've given that disclaimer, because I know someone will come back and say, the medical advice, you know how it is. Let me give you my Trinidadian remedy. So first and foremost, let me just say one more time. This does not constitute medical advice. All adults have free will and make their own choices. Now, first things first, do not use sink water. I repeat, do not use faucet water. Only use spring water. Go to the store, purchase yourself some spring water, or have a family member purchase you this spring water, not distilled, not all those other things, spring water. Use organic fruits and vegetables. And while you're at the store, get yourself a box of baking soda. And that is so you can wash all of your fruits and vegetables properly prior to using them. The ingredients and their quantity are oranges, organic oranges, you want to get 3. Organic lemons, you want 3. Organic limes, 3. A whole piece of ginger root. So that could constitute a piece of ginger about this size. And it has multiple stems on it. Get yourself an entire piece of ginger root, 1 whole ginger root. A turmeric root. Turmeric roots are similar to ginger, but they come in smaller pieces. So you want to grab as much turmeric root that would fit into this circle, or that if you had to replicate the shape of a ginger, you'd get that much turmeric and put in your basket. If you can't find the entire turmeric, if you can't find a turmeric root, please get yourself the turmeric seasoning powder in the supermarket seasonings aisle. 2 red onions, organic. Some organic garlic. Use the entire garlic. Peel it properly and use the entire garlic. Star anise. That is ANISE. If you're able to find star anise, use 4 pieces of star anise. Cloves. Some of you may be unfamiliar of cloves. Go into the seasoning aisle and look for cloves, not the powder, but the actual whole cloves. You want to use about 15 pieces of cloves. They're little three-pronged black seasonings. Use 15 of those at least. Oregano, 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of thyme, and 2 tablespoons of black pepper. Then you want to grab yourself some tea bags. Get 4 green tea bags. So you're going to get the multi-pack or the regular boxed pack, but when you're creating this elixir, you want to put 4 green leaf tea bags inside. So green tea bags, 4 echinacea tea bags, 4 chamomile tea bags, 4 jasmine tea bags, and 4 lemongrass tea bags. Be sure to wash the skin of your fruits and vegetables in baking soda thoroughly. Wash it thoroughly. That means sprinkle the baking soda on it. Put some spring water. Do not use faucet water or you'll be sick again. The faucet sink water has a ton of organisms. It has a ton of medications and all types of other stuff that are not necessarily conducive to good health inside of it. No one should be drinking faucet water. I repeat, no one should be drinking faucet water. You should purchase spring water and use that to cook with. So you should be buying a lot of spring water and use that to cook with. You want to cut the lemons, the limes, the onions, the oranges, and the onions into 4s. So divide it into 4s after they've been thoroughly washed in baking soda with spring water. Peel the garlic, the cloves of garlic, peel them completely and crush them. Put them inside of your pot as well. You want to pour a bunch of spring water into a big pot. So I'm not talking the little 5-quart sauce pot. I'm talking the big pot that you would cook a massive pot of rice in, or some sort of meal where you would use your big pot, your big stew pot. You're going to put spring water and all of the ingredients, all of the elements that I described previously into the pot of water. Bring that to a rapid boil. You want to allow it to sit and cool down for a while. But while it's still warm, while it's still hot, if you have a dipping ladle, like you would dip for soup or for fruit punch at a wedding, you know the ladle. I know a lot of people, I'm not taking for granted that anybody knows what these things are, because I've come into contact with so many people that are like, what is a ladle? So a ladle is that round thing that your grandmother had in the kitchen with the long stem. It's like a pot spoon, but you dip it for juices or soups or punches or stews. Dip the ladle in and get you some soup, some of the brew, and put it into a coffee cup. You want to drink it while it's hot. You can allow it to sit and strain the rest. Don't throw your ingredients out, because you can make another pot off of the same ingredients. So strain it. Put all of the liquid into a glass jar, not your plastic jar, not your Kool-Aid jug, a glass jar. So if you don't have huge glass jars, you're going to use a bunch of mason jars. If you don't have a bunch of mason jars, when you use pickles, when you get spaghetti sauce, wash those jars out. Be environmentally friendly. Those are glass jars. Save them. They have utilitarian use. You can use them again for things like this. You package your teas into these glass jars, and then you can store it in the fridge. Leave the contents of the boil, the original stew that you boiled, and repeat. Add spring water to fill it up, and you should be able to make 2 times off of that huge stew pot. And you're going to drink that 3 times a day for the next few days. I guarantee you, you will feel better in no time. Now, you're going to bottle the remaining stuff in glass mason jars or your former spaghetti sauce jars, whatever. And then you can reheat them in a regular sauce pot when it's time for you to drink for that day. And you'll be feeling better in a few days, I promise. If you need to sweeten it, Do not use sugar. I repeat, do not use sugar. 2, do not use sugar. 3, do not use sugar. And in conclusion, do not use sugar. Sugar is the leading cause of the big C. Zodiac after Gemini, before Leo, it's the number one cause. Stay off of that. That's why y'all got problems now. If you need to sweeten it, you should purchase yourself some organic honey while you're at the supermarket getting your other items. And that's just 1 teaspoon. Don't go overboard. You're getting to feel better. Listen. I know some of y'all like, oh, it don't taste good. So what? Do pills taste good? Does medicine taste good? Does that horrible taste in your mouth when you're ill taste good? You don't need things to taste good to feel better. Drinking all that stuff that tastes good is why you got in this predicament in the first place, because it compromises health. Don't worry about the fact that it doesn't taste good. Worry about the fact that you will feel good in no time. Make sure you use 1 teaspoon of organic honey and tough it out. You're a grown-up. Get over it. Now, also, I would suggest, this is what I do to maintain good health. Oregano oil. Locked will put the link in the chat. We will pin it at the top, and I will pin the ingredients as the top comment. Please, no sugar. Use spring water and keep the rest. Bottle it in glass jars, please. Not plastic, glass jars. And get well soon. This is your girl, the dopest nerd, sending you love with a nice Trinidadian home remedy that makes me, and listen guys, I am hardly ever sick. This is for everybody else. However, on the occasion that I don't feel well, I drink this 1 day and it's done. But I'm telling you, do what you have to do to feel better. You understand what's happening in our world. A lot of impurities are being placed into the food cycle, and for some reason, some of us take longer to learn the lesson. A lot of illnesses are food-borne illnesses. I hope you guys feel better. If there's any other questions you have, feel free to reach out to me. You know the page and the channel email. That is THADOPESTNERD@gmail.com. The same name as the channel, the with an A, dopest nerd @gmail.com. Feel better, guys. I love you, and I hope you feel better. Until we meet again.